Hello everybody, Steffi here from The Makers, coming to you today as usual from the Forest of Dean, and we're here to make our little, or not so little, star fairy. I will be only making the star fairy, I'm not making the star today, even though both projects are part of our October fairy box, subscription box. Remember, you can also buy the fairies on their own. You don't need to subscribe. You do save money if you subscribe, but if you just want a one-off box, you can get this as a one-off from our website. And she's really lovely. She's very soft and floaty and bright and all the things that you need at this time of the year. Soft, bright and gentle things. When we, certainly here in the Western Hemisphere, are beginning to feel that the season is turning and we're heading straight full steam into autumn. And welcome everybody. Let's have a little look in a minute who is actually here. But if you don't know this yet, we I've got any new people here. We've been to so many shows. I've been talking about doing live streams, so maybe some newbies have joined us. But you can win yourself a chance. You can enter into a draw for a £15 gift voucher. And all you need to do is comment today live on YouTube. If you're here right today with me, then you're in the right place. And it's the 18th of October. And you can also do this again on the 20th of October, which is Friday the 20th. I think I'm getting my dates wrong. Okay, let's start again. I think, is it today the 20th or is it the 17th? I have no idea. I'm going to have to look this up now because I think I wrote this down wrong. Okay, just bear with me. I'm telling you in a minute where we are today. So today is it is the 18th of October, and then we, Alicia and I decided that we're actually restreaming it on the 19th of October, which is only tomorrow at 7 p.m. because on the 20th, which is the Thursday, I am going to do the live stream with the Craft a Bear If You Care with the British Liver Trust. Anyway, let's get to the point. Wish upon a star, tell us your wish. So please put in the comments either today, which is the 17th of October, here live at 1 p.m. on YouTube. Tell us your wish, and then tell us your wish again if you wish on Wednesday, the 18th at 7 p.m. over on our Facebook group, on our Facebook main page. Gosh, that was long. Sorry, never had a screen up that long. I hope that you got all of this. If you did, you're a star. Ha, yes, a star. There we go. So talking about the star fairy makes me think of angels, and I'm going to bring this up straight away this morning or this afternoon, straight off at the beginning of the live stream. The cat angels are now live on the Cats Protection website. So if you, Alicia will post a link in the comments, but if you haven't got that link, then please go onto the Cats Protection. Well, it's best to put into your search engine Cats Protection Craft for Cats Winter, because it's a little bit difficult to navigate your way around the Cats Protection website. But here they are. Okay, so they are tree toppers, which means you can pop them on top of your tree. It's a bit dangerous up there, little kitty. They're big, they're hollow. It's a new technique. You've never done this before, especially when you're brand new, you've never done it before, but it's completely okay for beginners. So this one, remember this one, in fact, I'm going to take her out now. Right, so this is what they look like. It's, this is obviously just one. I'm going to get the others. Hopefully they behave themselves and not fall all over the place. Oh no, it's not happening. Okay, I'm going to put her here. Right, let's get the others. Come on. Oh, I'm gonna line them up one by one because they're not behaving right. That's a tabby one. That's a ginger tabby. That's a white one. That's a grey one. And that's a black one. And you can make one of these from a kit. You get a kit which has these, let's get this right, these three. So you can make a choice of a black, grey or tabby in one kit, or a white, Ginger, or Torty in the other kit. I'm going to show you what I mean because this is too confusing otherwise. So basically, these are all the cats. That's how you need to remember it. All of the 6 cats can be made, but you need to choose between 2 kits to make 3 particular types, but each kit only makes 1 cat. That's hopefully clear. And this is where you need to go. Craft for Cats, Cat Angel. The live stream is on the Saturday, the 26th of November at 10:30 on the Craft for Cats group. You will be either already a member or you will get invited to become a member if you're brand new and you've never done this before. And it's £20. £20, and half of that stays with the cat's protection and the other half comes to us and we send your kit out. It's our design, our wool, our kit, everything ours. We're just being generous and share it all with the cat's protection. And why wouldn't you? Because let's face it, everybody has got a cat angel in their life somewhere. I know you have somewhere you have a cat angel. So you can make your very own now. Right, that's not why we're here. We're here to make the Star Fairy, but that was the link. Now I'm going to say hello to some of the people who are here. Rachel is here. Hello, Karen, Alison. Beautiful sunny day here in Leicestershire. Yes, here in Gloucestershire as well. Olga is there. Hello. Ashley, Tina, Vampire Venom, Carol. Hello, Carol. It's a bright and breezy day, Boyle in Ireland. Absolutely, same here. It's not actually so breezy, but it's nice. Rita, hello Rita. Maybe you're new, I don't know. Heather is there. Catherine is there. You're definitely not new. Diana, hello Diana. I haven't seen you in ages. I'm sorry I couldn't visit you at the Glasgow show. Don't worry, you live literally at the back of Beyond, so I don't blame you at all. Hazel is there. Hazel is a newbie, loving the making, lovely. We've got Erica there and Bridget. And Bridget, you've got the turn of the season going the opposite way, which I envy you very much about, I will be honest. And what else have we got? Who else? Sam is here. Hello, Sam, Marion, and what's Sam saying? So some of you have had the wretched lurgy, so I hope you're all getting better. I don't want it. I've had my flu jab today. Anyway, right. What was I going to say? So I know for sure, because I get approached at the shows, that not everybody is always visible. So I want to make a special effort of saying hello to everybody else who chooses not to comment and who chooses not to pop up there and write stuff down. You are just as welcome and just as loved. So thank you very much for watching and for supporting us. Right, let's get started. I have actually unpacked the fairy box because it kept popping open because there's so much in there you wouldn't believe it. So all of this is for the Star Fairy. Oh goodness me, do it again. Overview scene. Here we go. All of this is for the Star Fairy. You get your flesh pink, you get some really super soft fine merino, some red and some black, which is for the eyes and the mouth. Don't use it all because your fairy will be covered. Otherwise, the whole head will be covered. You've got this beautiful yellow tone wool top, some yellow Leicester curls, and you've got an extra really silky plant fiber in there, which will add to the shine of the fairy. You also, and of course you get your wire, you also have in the fairy box all of this, and this is what makes it so fat, is and make it pop open. You've got the making of a star here, so it's a long flexible steel wire, and then the neon yellow and the core wool to make the star. We're not using this today. So first of all, I'm going to try and stick to the instructions. That always helps. This wire length we need to cut into 7.5 centimeter, and then whatever the remainder is, because I can't remember. I'm going to have a look at it. Yes, I'm still using scissors to cut my wire. So 7.5 centimeters. Remember, there's a tape measure on the left hand side of our instructions, so you should be able to work quite precisely. And this is quite a short wire end. This one is for arms and this shorter one is for the head. So some of you may not ever have worked with such a short wire length to wrap wool around, but it is all possible. Now I'm going to go speedily through the basic making of the fairy, because you've seen it loads of times. You can watch it on our channel. We've got a huge playlist of making fairies. So basically what you do is you take a wisp of your skin colored wool. If it's not quite in a strand, then just give it a little tuck and a tease, and it will sort of go longer rather than wide. And then you start at the end and you wrap the wool flat like a ribbon around the end of the wire. And when you have got a nice neat cover here, then you're going to bend the end in. Now, not everybody finds it easy to bend this in, but you can use pliers. You don't have to use your fingers. So go over that same shape that the shape that you've just done by bending it in, and slowly but surely build up the head shape. Now, as I've said it 100 times before, probably, I keep my fingers where I want the head to end. This is the my right hand here, because I don't want the head to slip down the wire. Once you've got a small cover and you run out of wool, start over again in exactly the same direction. I wrap it, pull it tight, wrap it, pull it tight, if I do it in more slow motion. So I've got a really neat and firm head. The last wispy ends I literally let disappear into the shape. So I've got a nice neat shape here now that I just need to step down a little bit. And of course, with the fairy box, you always get a fine felting needle. Sometimes you get a medium needle depending on the project, and you just start stabbing into the shape first from the underneath, so that you round off that what looked a little bit squarish because my fingers were stopping the wool from slipping down, and then you work your way all across the ball shape to tuck the wispy fibers in to felt the wool down. If you're completely new to needle felting, then maybe watch some of our tutorials on how to needle felt in the first place. I'm not explaining what the needle does right now, but there's plenty of resources on our website as well as our YouTube channel. And we're always happy to help you, even if you ask the question straight out. We have a group called Everyone a Maker on Facebook, which you're very welcome to join. We just ask you to answer 3 questions. These are our group rules that you need to confirm, and then you can come in. The purpose of the group is to help you with makers projects, makers products, makers ideas, makers books, all the rest of it. And in turn, we will provide you with hints and tips and little updates, and you get the news on our Everyone a Makers page first. So that's basically what we do. Right, this head is meant to be about 2.5 centimeters in diameter. Just checking that, not quite there. So I'm going to add another small layer. We've been generous with the wool in this kit, so you will have plenty of flesh pink wool left over, and some of the other wools as well, especially the black and the red that you will be using for eyes and the mouth. There's definitely some to go into your stash. Right, so working on the head, I'm going to just go back to the large screen, and I had 2 very magical moments today. Well, actually 3. Let's say 3. I saw the most amazing sunrise this morning, which I've shared on our Facebook page with you. To be honest, you've missed probably the most magical colors in the sky, and then afterwards the sun was like a bright orange. But anyway, you did probably see the mist in the valley, which was absolutely beautiful. Magical moment number 1. Magical moment number 2. The front of our house is completely covered in molehills. We do get them occasionally. They sort of hang out and love being here. And would you believe it, but one popped up, ran across the lawn, all a bit bewildered. So I went a bit closer and had a look. And of course, I am terrible for taking videos when it's really important to take a video. I usually think I'm recording, but I'm not. Something's happened to my screen, and I'm pressing something, and I think I'm recording, and then when I want to stop it, I actually start recording. I don't know if any of you do that too. That was one of those moments, so I've only got it in my memory. But this little mole, he was the sweetest thing ever, and I thought maybe he was unwell or injured or something, because why is he out and about bumbling along? So I came really close, and I gave him a bit of a poke with a leaf, and he sort of curled over and he had his little pink snout all snuffle and his pink big hands. I was going to say little hands, they're not little. And then he suddenly realized, oh, there's somebody after me, and he scuffled off and bottom up in the air, and down he went a molehill. And it was really, really lovely to see. And the third magical moment, they're back. They are back. The toadstools are back. Last year there was an explosion of toadstools outside on the big lawn, and I took loads of photos of the fairy folk projects, and it was so much fun because they were big toadstools. Well, these, it looks like they've literally just popped out of the soil because they're still covered with soil. There's literally, like, if I'd stood a minute earlier, I probably would have seen them come out. So there were, can't remember now, 4 or 5. I did take a video of that, and I'm going to share that on Everyone and Make a little bit later. And tomorrow I'm going to go back and see if there's any more, because last year they were big. They were like that size, and I had the fairies clambering on it, and these are like that diameter, and they're really, really round on the top. But such magic. I was very pleased to see all of this. Right, I think I'm done with this head, so I'm going to put this to one side and I'm going to do the arms. So yes, so maybe today is the day to make wishes. Let's have a look what you're wishing for. I mustn't read from the bottom up because that is very confusing. Okay. Oh, Catherine is talking about haircut. When you say she has a bubble attached to her, that doesn't mean to say she has a bubble. That's a cat called Bubble. So actually, oh, okay, that's right. My wish is to have enough money to pay off my debts, buy a house, and properly set up my crafts as a small business, partly because I don't know how long I'll be able to do my day job. Oh, you probably speak from the bottom of the heart of most people. If I was a fairy godmother, I would just say, your wish is granted, but I'm not. So sorry about that, but that's a lovely wish. Do you know what I used to wish? So this is when I was a child. So I always imagined if I had somebody come to me and say, you can have 3 wishes. I always said, I wish I wanted a dog at the time. I wish I had a dog. And then I wish I had as many sweets to eat as I could. And then my third wish was always, I wish I had 3 more wishes. And then I'd go round this loop again and again. And then I'd be like, I will have wishes forever and ever more. So there you go. But it only works with 3 wishes, because if you only have 1 wish, you just wish you had another wish, and then you have to wish for another wish and a wish for another wish, and you never actually wish for anything. So there you go. It works with 2 wishes as well. Tina says, I wish I could still fit in my clothes from when I was young. Yeah, me too. Oh dear. Marian says, hi everyone, I ordered mine and I received my Sheila Bear kit this morning. We're talking bears now, so it'd be really fun to see you all on Thursday evening at 6:30 for those of you who've got the kit. If you haven't got it yet, go and get it. You can still get it from the British Liver Trust website, because we record this live stream and you can do it after. It's for a good cause and the bears are lovely. In fact, no, I can't reach them, but if I've get a minute, I'll grab them and I'll show you. Olga says, at the moment, I just wish to get a new paying assignment as a one-person startup advising company. I am struggling a bit to get enough income. So this is probably relating not to the UK, I would have thought, Olga. But whatever you wish, I hope that you get what you're wishing for. So Lorna says, hello, just found a place at the zoo that has Wi-Fi. You're at the zoo! Oh, that's amazing. I don't think we've ever had anybody join us from the zoo. It feels sometimes my house is like a zoo, but that's amazing. Ashley says, do we get a sneak peek of the oh yes, of the Holly Fairy? Yes, you've read my thoughts. Here we go. There she is. That's the Holly Fairy. She's got very delicate wings. You will be needle felting her holly leaves. So if you've never done that before, that's a new one. And then she's got 3 beautiful glass beads at the front, at the top of the leaves. So so at the moment she hasn't got leaves at the back, but I give her a little twirl. And that's her. She's got red legs and black boots. And while we're at it, if you want to see the next project for the maker's box, he's got a bit of Angelina fiber. It's a frog. Now the frog, this one is based on a particular type of frog, but we will give you colors in your box so you can make your own colored frog. It's going to be frog colors, not pink and yellow or anything like this. We're talking, or maybe we should. Maybe you should make colorful frogs. Anyway, that is the maker's box for November. And whilst we're talking about it, I might as well show you the little thumbnail I've got here. So upcoming subscription boxes, you've just seen the frog and the holly fairy, and then the surprise box is all I want for... Then in December we've got the camel, the bud fairy, and the surprise box theme is frosty. In January we're revisiting the owl theme with the tawny owl, the toadstool fairy, and cozy nights in for the surprise box. So I hope that you have something to look forward to towards Christmas and beyond. Right, I'm going to get on with my fairy, otherwise I'm never going to finish her. So here we go, arms. Let's put the head to one side. So I'm going to tease some wool off exactly the same way as I've done with the head, but this time a little bit less, because you only need to make dainty little hands. So by now you should have the hang to wrap that wire. Nice tight wraps. Keep this narrow. This is all I can suggest. And then bend the wire in, cover that bend, and just cover it along a little bit more so you get a nice tight finish here. And we're only making the hands, so but you do need to tidy that end of the wool away. Now I have actually more and more resorted to using a bit of glue, and I don't think there's anything wrong with it. So do that if you need to do that. If it's really bothering you saying that, this glue bottle was a bit empty earlier, and no, there's a squirt in there. Resort to glue if it's really getting on your nerves that you cannot fasten this wool to the wire. So just let the glue do it for you. Here we go. And then you repeat this on the other side. So you can already put a bit of glue on there if you wish. As long as it's clear drying, you'll be fine. Right, bend it in. Cover the hand with wool and just make sure that you have it nice and tidied away. So add a dab of glue if you need to. That's it. And allow the wool and the glue to work with each other. Right, one hand, two hands. But now I'm going to cover the arms with this super soft merino top. It's one of the softest wools that we do. Make sure I don't have glue on my fingers. Tease off a strand same way as you did before, but this time it really comes in a strand because that's the whole point of being a top, and that's probably a bit too much, so I'm going to halve that. And now I'm going to add a layer on that wrist part of the pink wool because I want to get as close to the hand as possible, and then I wrap this along the remainder of the wire to make a nice neat arm. Sometimes you have to sort of unwrap it again because it's not looking neat enough. Always overlay the wool a little bit so that you edge your way slowly but surely, but not too fast, towards the middle of the wire. And because with the fairies we leave a little bit in the middle, you need to stop from going all the way across the middle. So if you've got too much wool, it's a little bit harder to tease that off, but you will be able to just do it in small increments if need be. And again, let it grip into itself. So at this point, you can also just give your wool a tiny little bit of a stab with your fine needle, because that will also hold it together. And do it right at the top of the arms, which is probably where you're not going to even see it. If you stab a little bit lower, because you've got something that needs to be taken care of, then I would suggest do it in line with your wire rather than right on top of it, and that way you can also tuck fibers away. It's a bit fiddly, so it's best to do it straight away. Wrap this really nice and neat. Right, and then I repeat that on the other side. So the wool should grip into the layer underneath quite easily, and then work your way up the arm. Keep your layers nice and thin. It's better to go over it another time than piling it on, and then you're fighting the wool and you're fighting everything, and it's just not gonna, well, it's not just how it looks, it's also how you feel about it after. I've got to put a little bit more in there. I've been a bit stingy. Right. Start that again. Oh, no, that's not so good. See, doesn't always work first time. Sometimes you just got to do it, take it off, start again. Right, let's do it this time. Cover it up a bit more. Always wrap the wool on top in the same direction as you wrap the wool below. And don't worry if it looks a bit messy at the bit in the middle there where the wire will be wrapped around the body shape now, because it will completely disappear. Just focus on the bits that are actually important, which is the arm from here to about here on either side. Now you're going to take the head and you're going to wrap the arms around the wire that comes out of the head. Now sometimes you've got to adjust the length of the arms, but you can do that by unwinding one a little bit, and sometimes you might also find that the arms are too long, and there's nothing wrong by just doing an extra twist if that is the case, because you've managed to pinch the wire in at the end so little, then by all means do that. The main thing is that you've got same length arms and your contraption looks a little bit like that now. So to secure the arms and along the body wire, because they're a bit slippy and slidey, you're going to straight away add some flesh pink wool and wrap it around the body shape, but also go over the shoulders. So that will now secure the joint of the where the arms have joined, and then wrap it around the body. I'm actually turning the fairy now, so I don't have to, well, I can also do that. And then you're going to bend this wire end in, because crucially that will stop the wool from slipping off, but it will also mean you don't have any sharp wire ends anywhere in this fairy. And you build up that shape a little bit more. So cover that up all together. Build up the shape a little bit more so that it's about 1.5 centimeter wide. Felt it down as you go. Remember, there's a wire in there, so don't stab straight into the wire. And the exciting bit will start when you are adding the beautiful skirt, beautiful dress to the fairy. Right, so there's your knot. Have I got? Yeah, that's about 1.5 centimeters. So what you've got to do is now put this to one side and get this lovely yellow multi-tone top out. Just unfold it, and we need to only take for the skirt. We only want to take the lighter yellow. So you need to tease out. We've done this before with a different project, with the lovebirds actually. You need to tease out the brighter yellow and just put this to one side, because that's for wings. See if there's any more in there. Yes. So maybe take the yellow out as well. And you're basically dismantling it. And then take more of the bright yellow out. put that to one side. And then you should have, if there's a tiny bit of that lighter, a brighter yellow, that egg yolky color running through, that's fine. And so you've got your strands separated. You don't need to use that slightly darker yellow yet, because we're going to use that much later. But you are going to add now, actually you are going to use the darker yellow first, because we need to add a layer of dark yellow onto the body. So I am using some of that. Take that off there. And add the darker yellow onto my fairy, to build it up a bit, but also to color it in a different color. And I'm also going around the top of the shoulders and this side as well. Maybe again. And then around the shape a bit more. And now I'm going to felt that down so that it stays in place and is secure. So you have the arms are completely covered in white, and the body is in that brighter yellow, and then we're going to use the white wool that we've used for the arms to make a petticoat, almost like an underlayer of a skirt. So we'll do that in a minute. Just felt this down a bit more, and you can of course shape it. If it's a bit too bulky in some places, then just felt it down and shape it. Just make sure you don't stab your needle straight into the wire, because that would be a shame. Right, because it breaks your needle. So what else do I need to tell you? So last time I showed you that we've got kits, new kits available. And the new kits consisted of the skiing mouse, which was an absolute success at the recent show I've been to, teaching it in a workshop. I hope you have looked at some of the stories I shared on Instagram. And then the reindeer, similar. It's a really, really good beginner's kit, but it's also such fun to make. Now the one in the middle, the round robin, is new, and I've been told so many times by people that they started out with a beginner's kit. I won't name any names where they got it from, that had a polystyrene ball inside. And I personally really, really don't like it. We are, as the makers, we're trying to be plastic free. As you know, we put our eco wool mats into the kits for you to use. And there's absolutely no need to put a polystyrene ball as a shape into any kits. So, however, I understand that some people don't feel confident enough to make a basic shape, and maybe they don't have the time to do it either. So in this kit we have put a wool ball inside for you as a base to needle felt onto. This is such a good beginner's kit. If you really want to buy somebody a Christmas present and you want them to make sure that they're doing it and not getting disheartened because they don't think they can manage needle felting, or they've had a bad experience with a kit that didn't work for them, and we need to bring them back from the belief that it was them. It's not them. It's usually the wrong materials that they're using. Then this is the perfect gift. So consider that. The kit in the middle is now live on our website. And if you're thinking of an affordable Christmas present, then this is the one for you. And you get all the materials and all the accessories, such the bird legs and the eyes, and of course the felting tools in there as well. Right. I'm going to take a sip of my tea here, which I could do if I was ever not going to talk, but I'm a chatty one today, so that's better. Somebody commented that I sounded tired this morning because my voice was hoarse, but actually you try and talk non-stop for 3 weeks. I think anybody's voice will fold after a while. So I'm going to now add more to this fairy by putting her skirt on. And for this, you have to split off a shorter length of this beautiful wool top. This is our extra fine merino, Australian merino top. And people often question, how do you split it off without pulling it so hard that you actually feel like you're pulling, you can't do it basically. Now the trick is that the fibers are of a certain length. They're not this long or meters and meters long. They're all sort of intertwined, and they're side by side like this. So if you pull really hard, you're probably holding on to some of the fibers, and then you're trying to literally sever the wool, when actually all you want to do is for the fibers to slither apart. And so what I suggest is hold onto the edge and allow the wool to split where it wants to split, and that is how you're making the skirt. So you're now teasing off several of these shorter layers and working your way along the longer length of that top, and it will slowly but surely, it will shorten, and you get sort of similar length strands here. So that is how you shorten the wool, and now you've got a few layers of these little batches of strands that I've done. Now you're going to take one or two of these strands, and you're going to fold one end under. So make sure that you've got a nice sort of even end at one, and then you're going to fold it under, because you now have to fasten this onto your fairy, and the length of this wool will determine the length of the fairy. So to felt it on, you fold it under, and then you stab into the top of that fold, and you're going to work your way around the whole of the fairy. Now I quite like the fairies to have a high waist, so don't put it too low, have it sort of just below the arms, and felt it down well, because you don't want to have any wool come off. So make sure that you stab into the top, not too far down, but just so in the edge that all of the wool fibers are now attached. And then you're going to have to work your way around the top. So you will need a little, keep a little of the white for the top cover of the skirt. So just make sure you keep a strand, but I mean, I have got lots of these lush layers here, so I'm going to take one more, and then decide what's the top and what's the bottom, make them a bit more samey, and I'm going to felt that on. I think I'll get away with 3 of these batches. Felt that on now. This is so lovely to work with this wool. If you want to make very simple fairies where you don't have to make legs and any sort of complicated features, this is a really simple way of making a beautiful floating fairy that you can hang on a tree or hang in the window, or on a, yes, just as a decoration, maybe like a baby's mobile. I think that the star fairy would be lovely as a baby's mobile actually. And so easy, it's an easy fairy project. There are lots and lots of fairy projects in the Making Fairy Folk book. So this is what I mean about catch it all. So can you see that I've not caught this bit here, so I need to make sure that I'm going to felt that on now. So it kind of slipped away, because if you don't fold into that top folded part of the wool, it will just slip down, and then this part of the skirt will come off. So I am stabbing into it now to get it nice and firmed up. And then I've got another little gap here, so that's my last skirt part here. Fold that under and put that here on the side. Felt that down as well. There we go. That's it. So the next show I will be going to is in the first weekend of November, and that's going to be at the NEC. So if any of you are near the NEC, do come and see us. This is a bit of a tip. If you are worried that you haven't fastened all of the wool on, find the underneath of the fairy and just stab into that part now as well, because that will fasten on a little bit more as you're stabbing into there. And it also bulks up the skirt a bit. And turn it the other way around again. Distribute all the wool evenly, so you've got haven't got any gaps, like that. She looks lovely, look, isn't that beautiful? And then you're going to use the yellow strands that you've separated. Here we go. That's a big bunch there. And you also have to, because this is quite long, you're going to have to shorten this a little bit as well. Same way as before. So let the fibers slither away from each other. Don't force it. There's no need. And further, what you're going to do is you're actually going to add a little bit of this beautiful, shiny, lustrous plant fiber into it. And for this, you just need small strands. Take your first strand for the skirt and just tease that apart a couple of times so that it has chance to mix. It doesn't need to be wholly mixed because you do want to keep the skirt nice and like, we don't want to make it too short. And then when you've got a mixed strand, same way as before, you're going to bend it over and you're going to fasten it onto the fairy on top of the white skirt. So you will work your way around the fairy again, but this time with the yellow tops on top of the white tops. So the white tops have bulked it up and it's fine for them to peep out, even if they're a little bit longer, that's fine too. We do want the white to be visible still. We don't want to cover it up entirely. It is way too nice to cover it up, but we also want to make sure that you fasten on the yellow here on top of the waist. So this is what you use your fine needle felting needle for. Fasten it on so it's secure. We will tie a sash around her waist at the very end as well, so if it looks a little bit uneven here at the top, don't worry too much about it. And then to repeat the process, so take another strand of this beautiful shiny fiber, mix it with the lighter part of the multi-tone yellow, mix that. So you always mix it so that they run side by side rather than crisscrossing it, and don't mix it too much. It's better to do less than too much, because the fibers will start to get slightly tangled up like this one here. Where are you going? Let's take you out, put you on top there, and then as before, fold it under and lay it down. I'm sticking with 3 again. If you're doing 4, then that's fine too. If you're doing 5, that's fine. If you're working in smaller batches, there's no problem at all. Do what works for you. Make sure that you get the fibers fastened on. That's the most important thing. I think doing any less than 3 is probably going to be quite tricky, but you might manage it. I'm not saying it's impossible. Going all the way around. That's it. And last one is going to be on that last open gap here. Final one. You need a little bit of that white fiber as well for the sash, so I'm not using all of it. And mix it. And that's the final batch of skirt that will go onto my fairy. There. Nice. And then in a minute I'm going to even it all out so that it's covering all of the sides of the fairy as well. And so this fairy has, for a change, she's got wool wings, which we don't use that often, and but that works really well as well. If you ever can't decide what wings to use, use wool, because they do look really lovely too. Okay, I'll show you that, of course, in a minute as well. Right, so the skirt's secure. Let it sort of maybe fall down by itself a little bit. Split it out a little over the wide. You might find that there's sort of wispy bits are coming off at the base, which is absolutely fine. Just take them off, allow them to come off. Now you can have the fairy almost like star-like looking here at the bottom, or you can smooth it into a sort of almost like a teardrop shape. It's entirely up to you. What I'm going to put on her now as a final finishing touch on the skirt part is that what I called a little belt or little sash, and for this you are also using the shiny white fibers, but you're using the darker yellow. So you might need to tease it a little bit longer as it is, so that it fits around her waist, and there's a bit too much there. And now I'm going to, actually don't know yet which way round she's going to be. I think she's going to be this way. So I tie it onto her. And then you're going to felt it down a little bit, just so that it doesn't slip, because that white shiny fiber is quite slippery. And then you can have that hanging down at her front as an extra bit, and just felt the sash down a bit more, because it's the same color as the body. It could sort of almost like become one on the back, just so that you can see that it's actually tied down on the front, and stub into it so that it doesn't stick out. You want it to fold down, but you can definitely felt into it. Here we go. Right, so she's got that slightly darker sash here. I think on this one here, it's a little bit longer, but that's basically what the fairy, every fairy will be different. Beautiful dress, and I'm just going to show you this from here as well. There you go. That's how far I've got now. Very beautiful floating skirt. Again, remember, don't worry too much about neatening it all out at the moment. When you're ready and you've got it all done, then you can tease a few of these fibers out. That's always a good idea to, if you need to refresh your fairy as well, if she's been manhandled and you've got her out and put her away. And sometimes you can just tease the wispy fibers out at the bottom and she looks like brand new again. So I'm just going to have another quick look at what people are wishing for. No doubt there's always many wishes. Oh, Jane voted 2, one for her granddaughter to make. I mean, to make for her granddaughter, she can't make it herself yet, and one for herself. That's a nice touch. Julie says, sorry I'm so late. My wish upon a star would be to remind people, if they have nothing nice to say or do, then don't do anything. I think what you're saying is that you wished people wouldn't say things if it wasn't nice. Is that right? I agree with you. I try and live by that. If you've got nothing nice to say, don't say it at all. And I can already say that your wish is granted on my part. Rose says, great idea using the wool ball. Thank you. Ashley says, I'm not a fan of mice due to the tails, but I do like skiing mouse. Yes, I've heard that before. People have said they're not so keen on mice, but they almost don't see them as mice. Oh, thank you, Diana. She likes my blue tit mug. I like birds, like everything nature is just magical. Oh, Diane says, I'm waiting at the airport to get a bus home. Wishing upon a star that it hurries up so I can watch this properly. Oh yes, you've been away, haven't you? Oh, be nice to be back home. Okay, I'm doing the same what I usually do. I read backwards. It's never a good idea. Right, anyway, Diane says, my wish upon a star is that my daughter has a lovely baby in December. Oh, I've been collecting my maker's boxes and making things for her baby's room. These fairies are excellent for this. Nice. That's going to be really nice, decorating a whole baby's room with fairies. And Alicia has a wish. Let's hear Alicia's wish. My wish is that life was like on Star Trek. We don't have hardly any disease, no poverty. In fact, they don't use money on Earth anymore. And we could all transport everywhere. Yes, that's a big ask for a wishing star, I guess. Okay, so let's continue here with the fairy. Have I got anything else to tell you? Let's talk about the next live stream. So we are going to do the tomte together, the autumn tomte. I've got a couple here so I can show you what they look like. This autumn tomte too has got a ball inside, and it's again a really super easy beginner kit for somebody who maybe is a little bit worried about needle felting. I meet them virtually on a daily basis when I'm at shows, and I try and reassure them. But like I say, some people have also had bad experience, so we need to get them back on track. That needle felting is absolutely amazing. And then, of course, it's already the 1st of November on the 1st of November. It's the 1st of November on the 1st of November. That is a fact. And it's the time for the new sub boxes. So we will be streaming that live here on YouTube and then also on Facebook. And then we're going to make a giant Christmas pudding together. And for the giant Christmas pudding, you mostly only need scraps of wool and some brown, some white, and some red. However, I'm just telling you this now. If you do want to get ready for it, then you could also get the Portuguese merino, which is the brown, which is perfect for the outer of the Christmas pudding, but also the milk sheep. And then you for the top, for the oozing creamy white top, the Cape Merino. I love the Cape Merino, but also any of our other more whiter wools, such as the Australian Merino, bat. They're all bats, by the way, and the Shetland is quite good. It's quite a natural white. It's a bit coarser. It may look a little bit harsher, and the Gotland white, but also the New Zealand white. They're all good wools to use. And then red is just poppy red, and green is just forest green or variegated green or any of the greens for the holly on top of the Christmas pudding, holly leaf. Right. Okay. Let's get back to the star fairy. So I'm going to give her hair now and then her face, and then basically that's the end of that. But the star is something that you can very easily make. You do best, however, need the instruction that we've got here. Usually we put our instructions once the makers boxes are gone as a downloadable PDF on our website, so you should be able to purchase that after this month. And I will just give you a quick heads up how we've done the star if you haven't got the fairy box. So this is a template for, oh, I'm doing it again. Sorry about that. Oh dear. This is the star template. So you have your wire that you make fit around this. Then you're going to prepare it with core wool, and then you're going to add all the beautiful yellow over the top. But I'm going to make my fairies a face, my fairy a face. So for this, I need the tiniest wisp of black. Look, this is how much I've got. This is how much I need, and even less. And I'm going to needle felt an eye into the pink here. Is even too much. Yeah, even less. Less is more because you can always add more, but if it's in there and you try and get it out and it all looks a little bit horrible, you might not be able to adjust that again. Now this has got some really horrible long fibers running out. Try the spaghetti trick, but wrapping it around my needle. Is it doing it? Yes. Right, take that other wisp, but just put to one side for the second eye. If you only just grab a bit, the needle should usually just take care of the rest by stabbing it into the wool and making it disappear. Check that the eyes are the same size. It's also a bit of Sometimes you can tease those long fibers out. Sometimes if you do that, the whole thing comes out. And then give her a nice, I'm going to give her a little smiley mouth because she's really happy. Happy little fairy. So I've made it a little bit, rather than round, I've made it slightly oblong. Felt that down. And now I'm going to give her her hair. And sometimes when you felt in one area, you think, oh, I'm just going to even that out a bit, or I'm just going to give it, do this a bit and that a bit. Now the hair, you've got a lot of these really bright colored Leicester curls, and they're sort of they're not as defined as a lot of the curls that we sell, but we still love them because they give sort of a tousled hair look, and you can best separate them with scissors. If so, just sort through them and pick out the curly parts. The less curly parts can be, if they're attached to a curly part, that can be felted into the head for the cover, because not all of the hair is hanging down on her, and she's definitely got shorter hair, this one, so she hasn't got long curls hanging down. But before you undo all the curls, just separate them out and pick the wool that you want. Once you open it up a bit, you probably get sort of a good idea of which bits you want and which bits you don't. And then they can stay in your stash for something else. Just adding a bit of texture. And there's definitely lots of wool. You don't need all of it. But pick the bits you want first. Right, I'm going to start with this. And I'm going to always start on the side of the head and then work my way, rather than going around first, I actually usually go to the other side so that I can frame the head first. Frame the face, I should say, sorry. There. I don't know if I might have mentioned it last time, but my daughter, who rescued 6 baby hedgehogs, she went back to the hedgehog rescue place. They were ready to be put out where she actually found them, and they're now fat little hedgehogs running around, which is such a nice thought. Sometimes you find that the curls are hard to attach, so you need to tease them open sideways a little bit just to loosen up the fibers, so that the needle can actually get in there and get a grip of the wool. And so her face is kind of framed now. That's always important, because then you've got lots of opportunity to play with whatever you want to happen at the back. Now remember, we're attaching wool wings at the back, so we don't want to cover, we don't want to go down too far with the hair, because it's pretty pointless. The hair will just disappear where the wings are. So like I say, you have plenty of curls there, and once you felt them down, they give sort of a nice surface texture as well. Do these now, and the frizzy bits look actually quite nice too. So don't dismiss them for hair. Just add them on there. Need to cover the top now. Use all of this there. Remember, there is a wire inside the head, so try and avoid that. I've still got all of these, so I'm going to build up a little bit more bulk. Can let bits of curl stick out as well at the side. It doesn't have to be all very neat. This is not a neat hairdo on this fairy. And maybe I'll leave it like that. She's got very little hair on this one. She's got a little bit more on this. She's got a slightly smaller head actually, and the one that's hanging up has got a little bit more hair as well. But I'm going to leave it like that because I quite like it. And then bend the arms in. Now this is a bit annoying because the wool keeps untying itself, so I need to just secure that a little. Twist it tight and then felt it down. This can happen if the wool's lost the grip. I think the more you make these fairies, the more nimble your fingers will get. So definitely incentive to try lots of fairies and see how they improve over time. It's always nice to see that there's improvement. Trying to get that felted down now. Cool, that's a bit better. And then I'm going to give her the wings now. So for the wings, you obviously need to work on her back, and you've still got these some of these fibers left over of the darker yellow. Now we need to make this again into a shorter batch. So tease them apart. So you overlay them into a shorter quantity like this. So this is already almost a set of wings, but the way that I have done the wings on our fairies, I've actually cut the ends off. So if you cut these off, both sides, then you definitely got some neat wings there. So you've got a little bundle there now that you can pinch in the middle like that. And how have I done this? Just to make sure. Oh yes, I haven't tied it or anything. I've literally just laid it onto the back of the fairy. Make sure that you've got this in the middle, and then just start stabbing into the bunched up bit here and tuck the wools in. Tuck the wool in. So keep checking that the wings are similar length, because they can get pulled in on one side more than on the other. So keep checking that that is still the case, and make sure you catch every single fiber so that the wings are fastened in properly. And you just felt that in the back of the fairy, and then when it's fastened in, you can adjust the wings and open them up a little bit. You can even make them wispy again if you wish, by just teasing the fibers out a little bit so it doesn't look quite so cut. But you should have nice neat similar wings there. There you go. And that basically is the star fairy. Like I said, make her even it out in the star fairy kit. It's still available to buy if you want to buy it. We're only in the middle of October, and you also get in your star fairy kit, you get the wool, not the wool, the strand of the sparkly strand to hang her up, and also to thread and these little stars up, which are really lovely, and they hang off the star potentially, or you can do whatever you like with them actually, but they hang off the star here on the hanging fairy. You can sew her onto the fairy so she's hanging on it, or she can hold the star. There's all kinds of things. You decide how you want to display your fairy. There's no we're not prescribing it. We're only ever giving you ideas, and that's basically, there she is now. That's the fairy done. There you go. She would be such a nice fairy for Christmas as well, like a Christmas decoration fairy. She could even be on top of a tree, why not? But you need to put your cats on there, of course. The cat angels, because we're going to do that very soon, next month, with the Cat's Protection. If you've joined late, at least you know what I'm talking about. Right, I'm going to leave her there for a minute and just have a final check-in at everybody here. Bridget says, woohoo, beam me up, Alicia. That's what I often say after a show. I always say, come on, somebody beam us home now. But never happens. 7. Aha. So Vampire Venom says for next month she wants dart frogs. They're all sorts of colors and can cohabit with other species. I want morning geckos. Yeah, you're definitely into your reptiles and and cold-blooded animals. That's maybe it. Not that, yeah, they feel cold, don't they? Diane says, oh no, we've done that one. Laura says, my wish upon a star has already nearly come true. I'm hopefully getting a dog in November. I so keep my fingers and toes and everything crossed for you, Laura. And of course, if you do want to help Laura, she needs a garden because she can't get in her garden at the moment because of her disability. And there is actually a fundraiser on Facebook for her. And if Alicia can share it, then you can all go now and help her get her garden through a community fundraiser. So that there, you've got that now as well. And you can read the story of Laura on there as well, and why she needs that special help. Marion, my wish would be to live long enough to have great grandchildren. Oh, I've given you one great. My grandchildren are 16 and 14 now. Well, you might be. Who knows? Oh yes, and of course we're also doing the Zoom for the festive Tomte. Now I want to say it's not too late. It isn't too late, and but I think I've taken the thingy off to show you about this. Look up the festive Tomte on our website. The first live stream on Zoom will be on the 24th of October, so that's next week Monday. So it's not quite a week. And but you can still get your festive Tomte, of course, still even if you're not wanting to join the Zoom. I think we might also be recording the Zoom, so we could even send it to you afterwards if you miss the parcel arriving in time for the Zoom. So check it out on our website. Still all possible. Have I missed anything else? Well, let's just talk about Robin. Robin it's getting closer to Christmas, and of course the Robin film is a Christmas film. If you haven't watched it yet, you must watch it. It's a must. It's just the loveliest story. It's all about the right kind of values in life, where you sometimes you got to cut people some slack, because not everybody's perfect, and I think that's what the film is also about, that not everything's perfect, not everybody is perfect, but we're all on a journey of rediscovery, of self-discovery, and on that journey we learn many things that are not always black and white, and I think that for me is probably what the film best represents. And of course you can make your own Robin from our Robin kit, which we have designed under license with Artman. So we're very proud of that, and we want as many people to have a Robin in their life as possible, because she stands for all the things I believe in anyway, and I think the makers stand for as well. Right, I think that's it. A few minutes over time, so apologies if that's been cutting into your lunch break or work time or whatever. But I shall say goodbye now, and I will, oh, this is, by the way, it's the Autumn Tomte. Here we go. That's the one that we're making next week. So you can still get your kit for that as well. Right, that's all from me today. Thank you, Alicia. And of course, remember, thumbs up. You can help us by subscribing to our channel. Tell your friends to subscribe, or as many people as you know to subscribe to our channel, and the more the merrier. And I shall leave you now. Goodbye everybody. See you soon. Bye.